Sunday Night Football, San Francisco 49ers at the Buffalo Bills. Bills by 6.5. One big caveat for today's show. This is our preview show on a Wednesday. We usually do it on a Thursday. We normally get...
This is the least informed we will be in the entire year.
Perfect. As far as injuries go.
No.
Not general. Like football knowledge.
It's just our pure caveat.
Same level of NFL football knowledge. This is the most uninformed we're going to be as far as injuries go. So you're over here. It's Thursday, and you're traveling to Thanksgiving dinner right now, and the report comes out that Brock Purdy's not going to play on Sunday night or whatever it might be. We are uninformed about that particular.
We should just have a banner across the screen for this show. This the least informed show of the year.
Yeah, but we're doing our best. We're going to do our best here. So, I mean, we might do some without analysis.
I've got one for this game.
Perfect. So, without Brock Purdy, the Niners, I think, are going to be a different team. Look, they're talking about him coming back.
And for other teams, I might be less inclined to go without. But for the 49ers that have already shown a history this season of being like, maybe this injury is more serious than we thought it was. And the guy who you thought was going to be a week-to-week thing is in Germany getting stem cells shot into his knee or his Achilles or whatever the hell it was. I have less confidence that this Brock Purdy shoulder thing that apparently hasn't shown much on an MRI or whatever is actually going to clear up this week. Maybe it's going to linger.
As a former professional thrower, Sam.
Of course, yes.
If the throwing injury, and I know there's reports out there that the MRI suggests AC or rotator cuff strain.
Man, I can rotate. I can relate to that.
You can relate as well as a 60-mile-an-hour thrower.
Damn right.
Which is what NFL QBs throw, about 60.
There you go.
With a football, you throw with a baseball.
I assume it's the same thing.
It is difficult to see how it's like so impossible to throw Thursday, Friday, Saturday of 1 week, and then just a week later, you're good.
Fixed.
It's usually like, the rehab usually takes a couple weeks.
This shoulder's been bothering me since about 2008.
2008 is when I was nervous going into the season. I was nervous going into the 2008 season.
Yeah.
And then my trainer, John Paloff, the great John Paloff, who trains the great Rich Hill, the oldest professional baseball player, the oldest professional sports player in America right now.
Still left. How old is he?
Still left. 43.
Wow.
Maybe 44. I think he's 43. And he came back and played for the Red Sox this year. He trained both of us. So John, works wonders. And got my shoulder back within about 3 weeks. So that's my,
well, there you go.
Like within 3 weeks, I was throwing like 82, 83. And I'm like, oh no, spring training's coming up.
Could he fix mine?
He could.
Great.
He could. Now he's going to grind it out until it's purple. And you
what?
You bruise the shoulder, grind out all the bad, and then it refixes. It's great. I'll send you to John.
Great.
Anyway, is Brock Purdy going to play? There's also potential weather here because the lake.
Buffalo.
You build a stadium on the ocean. That's what happens.
Lake is not an ocean, Steve.
Oil can Boyd said that. It's an old joke.
Gotcha.
From '86. This is good job staying on point here.
Yeah, sweet.
So Bills are hot, looking good, coming off a bye. Niners not so hot.
Well, this is where San Francisco has dug themselves this kind of hole, right? From blowing these games, particularly in the division earlier in the season. They don't have much wiggle room to lose more games, and now you got to go on the road to Buffalo where there might be snow. I do think that this is a significant, though, without type of game. With Brock Purdy, they're kind of built for that type of game. Like, it's not a team that can't run the ball, they can't win in ugly conditions. In theory, they're reasonably well equipped to do that. You take Brock Purdy out of it, it's like, that's not going to work. To spoiler alert on this, I think Buffalo easily cover this if Brock Purdy's not in the lineup. If Brock Purdy is in the lineup, I think that's a different story.
One other interesting dynamic, because we've raved about Kyle Shanahan on the show for a long time, and basically, again, this could be the first year. We'll see if Purdy misses one game. This could be the first year that Kyle Shanahan does not at least make the NFC Championship when he has his starting quarterback, right? And even one of those years, it was Brock Purdy replaced Jimmy Garoppolo. You could argue it was with his backup, who was a seventh rounder, right? It's been impressive. But with other backups, Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard, Mullins put up a lot of yards for Kyle Shanahan. They didn't win a lot of games. It's not completely the same thing as maybe Mike McDaniel and him struggling with his backups. But we've seen maybe how special Matt LaFleur was earlier this year, that he won essentially 2.5 games with
Malik Willis.
I'm like, geez. 2.5 games with his backup. Kyle doesn't necessarily, he's competitive. They can put points on the board. They can move the ball. But the offense has clearly been different when he had Jimmy Garoppolo before guys got hurt, and then now Brock Purdy before he had to go to Brandon Allen last week.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder if we've talked about it earlier. The Shanahan scheme writ large appears to be like less effective, or at least less unstoppable than it had been previously. Maybe the first place or the biggest impact that has is on those sort of backup caliber quarterbacks, where previously Shanahan was able to turbocharge their production, and suddenly C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, whoever it is, like they look like viable starters, at least for a period of time. But there's obviously a difference between them and the viable starters already who have that extra put on top of them. Maybe the place that hits hardest is suddenly those guys are not viable anymore. Like if you have to turn to Brandon Allen or Nick Mullins or C.J. Beathard or whoever it is as your backup in this scheme, they're just not going to work.
Trying to get the weather report here for you as well.
Great.
Sunday in Buffalo, winds 10 to 20 miles an hour, chance of snow 40%, snow accumulation less than 1 inch, but enough to maybe affect the game. We'll see. It's a night game, so that also could affect things. Niners run defense got gashed last week against Green Bay. Couldn't tackle. Again, I think my favorite part about Buffalo, and look, I said this last year as well, my favorite part is when the Bills take more away from Josh Allen. Let him be more of a distributor. Let him hand the ball to James Cook. Let him rely on some yak-centric type of players and plays, the Khalil Shakirs and Curtis Samuels of the world. And I think they've done a great job of that, while also having the trump card of having Josh Allen on 3rd and short, on 4th down, like he did against the Chiefs. It is a great combo. This feels like a game where I think the Bills will have success with their run game, creating after the catch, and then again, break in case of emergency, Josh Allen plays.
Yeah, I mean, I think Buffalo, from their perspective, pretty much everything is working quite well at the moment. I don't want to make it all about injuries, but San Francisco really, they've been managing to not just have unfortunate injuries, but all of their key players. Like they've actually, if you were going through the roster and earmarking who are the most important players we can take away, it would be all the players that have been injured. It would be Christian McCaffrey. Trent Williams missed last week at left tackle. He's the best offensive tackle in the NFL, probably still. He wasn't playing. Nick Bosa, we talked about the damage that him being down has on that defense and the pass rush. Both those guys are still question marks heading into this game. Brock Purdy, the quarterback, obviously. Ayuk is down for the year. He's gone. It's really difficult to stay a high-end team against another high-end team if a lot of your most important players are, at the very minimum, diminished versions of themselves.
Yeah, we got some injuries over there. If you're willing to do a without pick, you're allowed to in this one, with or without. I'm assuming Purdy's going to play.
I mean, I'm definitely taking Buffalo if Brandon Allen is playing. I might still take them even with Purdy because of the other players that are also injury concerns. I'm going to need, this is one of those ones that's like, I'm going to need the inactives list before I'm really set on this.
I agree. I mean, right now I'm going to take Buffalo to cover the 6.5 here.
Like if you tell me
weather game, home game, them in this.
If you tell me all of Nick Bosa, Trent Williams, and Brock Purdy are playing in this game, I might be willing to go San Francisco covering that line. Absent that, I think Buffalo wins and covers.
I can't believe I'm going to be out on San Francisco. I've been defending San Francisco all year, and it's just they're running out of time.
They are, but you did make the point on the review show, which is fair, that even if they blow this game, even if they lose this game, because they still have so many division games left, even though they're 1-3 in the division, and the fact that nobody else is they're a game back, right? Even 2 games back if you factor in the tie break at the moment. They can get back into this quite quickly. Like they're further away from the 7 seed than they are from winning their own damn division. I mean, that's the way back into this.
It very easily could be a 9-win division champion, 9-8 division champion.
I mean, that was other divisions looked like that was going to be the case. 9 wins might take this. The NFC West all of a sudden is becoming one of the more winnable divisions simply because they're all around 500.
We also have, I'm not going to go through all of them. We have a playoff clinching scenario.
3 of them. In this game. 3 of them in this week, I think.
This week there are scenarios, but Buffalo can clinch the AFC East with a win and a Miami loss. Of course, they'll know if Miami had lost on Thanksgiving night, so we could be looking at Buffalo clinching the AFC East. I was going to say in November. It's on December 1st, but close enough.
Yeah, Miami winning a couple of games ruined all the stupidly early Buffalo clinching scenarios.
All right. You're going to take Buffalo?
I'm taking Buffalo. I reserve the right to switch that back if all of the San Francisco injured players are playing.
Fair. All allowed. You can change it in the sleeper app all the way up till game time.
Certainly will be.
I'll take Buffalo. Harry will also take Buffalo to cover the 6.5.
Of course, I won't remember to do that, so I probably won't be changing, but Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.